it is, another episode of the Infinite Banter Podcast. What is going on? I am Mark Jolliffe, aka DJ Soundwave. Thanks for checking out the show. Got a big one. Got my guy DBTZ from Manzu Beats and M. Doc Diego. Their new album, Universal Tongues 2, is out right now. We're going to talk to both of them, play some songs from that album. But before we do that, we do that sponsor thing at the beginning. Get your eyes right. Do you experience digital eye strain from too much blue light exposure from digital screens? Baxter Blue glasses are not your average frames. These blue light lenses filter 80% of the highest energy blue light, eliminating 99% of glare. The past year, we have all been glued to our devices more than ever. I'm guilty of that. When I'm going to sleep, the lights are off. The kid and the wife are sleeping. I'm sitting here playing on the phone in the dark with this light shining in my face, and it's probably not good for me. Probably a bad idea. As well as watching scary movies before I go to sleep as well. But yeah, it's not a good idea to strain your eyes with these small screens as much as we are. Our exposure to digital light has soared, and our eyes and our sleep are suffering as a result. Baxter Blue is also a force for good and provides a pair of reading glasses for someone in need for every pair sold. This is eyewear built for our digital age, and Baxter Blue is giving our listeners 10% off your next purchase of blue light, sleep, or kids glasses. Click the link in our show notes for your exclusive discount. This is the sign you've been waiting for to invest in blue light glasses. We know you will love your Baxters, and we know that you will feel the difference. Yeah, my eyes are, I can feel it, because I was up late watching Motel Hell on my phone and not getting any sleep. And anybody who hasn't seen that movie before, it's fucking nuts. It's a crazy movie from like the 80s. I love watching them old school flicks. Shout out to with Gorley and Russ podcast, they're the ones who put me onto it. So I watched it on Pluto TV, and it's out there. It's got elements of Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho. There's even a part that reminded me of the Walking Dead Terminus villain storyline they had in season 5. So definitely check it out if you want to watch some scary movies in the middle of June and you want to get your eyes all watery and messed up from looking at a phone in the middle of the night. Go ahead and check out Motel Hell. You could do a lot worse than that. This is the Infinite Banter Podcast. I am Mark Jolliffe, DJ Soundwave, as some of you might know me as, and whatever else you call me. I got a big show today. Want to give a big shout out to my last guest, Daga. He was on here. Go check out his new album, DA to the G. I just saw online he posted pictures of the vinyl. I cannot wait to get a copy of that in my hand. So definitely go check him out. That album is really good. Speaking of good albums, Universal Tongues Volume 2 just dropped, and you can find it on CocoReef.com for that vinyl copy, and then go to Bandcamp to hear it as well, and on all streaming platforms. M. Doc Diego and DBTZ from Manzu Beats. This album is sick, and both of these guys have been on the show before. They actually were on one episode together, but separately. I recorded them separately, and they came on. But this time, got them both at the exact same time. It's great. I never did this before, an Instagram video call, so it was pretty cool. Didn't know you could do that on Instagram. Salute to them for doing everything else that everybody else does that I'm just not aware of, because technology and me sometimes don't get along, but it's all good. It was a fun interview. Love talking to these guys. DBTZ's out in Spain, M-Doc's in Rochester, and I'm here in the Chicago area, so it was pretty cool. And definitely go check out my man DJ Real One's album, Direct Flight. M-Doc is on a couple tracks on there, and he's got more heat. He's already got French Connection 2 coming out, so it's just nonstop with these guys. They don't stop working, keep grinding, putting out that good music for the summer and for the rest of the year as well. Let's go ahead. Let's get into it. We're going to talk to both guys coming up here, play some songs from a new album, Universal Tongues Volume 2. Go check it out. But before we do that, remember you can find this podcast on all streaming platforms. Wherever you're listening to it now, keep doing it. Apple Podcasts, rate and review it, as well as Podchaser. Follow the show on social media at Infinite Banter Podcast. Go on YouTube, type in Infinite Banter, and you will find clips from past guests. I just uploaded a bunch of new ones, so go on there, check it out. If you only want to hear like 58 seconds of this dumb show, that's the best way to do it. Go on YouTube and do that. All right, let's get into it. M. Doc Diego, DBTZ from Manzu Beats. Time to get familiar. But before we do that, the show never begins until the one and only, the Hall of Famer, the King from Queens, DMC, says this.
Yo, what's up? This is me, DMC, the K-I-N-G, the greatest MC in history. And right now, you're listening to Infinite Banter, because we will banter on forever, because this is the only place for all of y'all to ever be. I be Infinite Banter.
You know how things go on this show. When there's a music guest on here, and more times than not, that seems to be the case these days on the Infinite Banter podcast. We play a song from the album that we're promoting to get you acclimated, to get you excited about who's coming on. So without further ado, before we talk to M. Doc Diego and DBTZ, let's play one of my favorite tracks off their new album, Universal Tongues, Volume 2. Like I said, go to CocoReef.com to copy your vinyl. You can find that on all streaming platforms. And Bandcamp is one of my favorite places to find music. You can go there as well. But this song right here is called We Just Different, featuring G-Fam Black. This one right here is a straight banger. So let's go ahead and get into it. And on the other side of this song, you'll hear from the two creators of this great album, Universal Tongues Volume 2, DBTZ and M. Doc Diego. But here we go. We Just Different from the new album, Universal Tongues Volume 2, on the Infinite Banter podcast. Get familiar.
You don't take the picture, you gotta make it. You don't wait for your chance, you gotta take it. Never break the code, this thing's sacred. Get familiar, we just different, it's hit greatness. You don't take the picture, you gotta make it. You don't wait for your chance, you gotta take it. Never break the code, this thing's sacred. Get familiar, we just different, it's hit greatness. Longest man Zoo on production. Make them get familiar, know the function. Hit a gator game, life just enough suction. Grew up down south where everybody was jugging. Some made it to the chapel trying to get over the hill. My homie Peanut died, heard he was set up in the deal. Went to school together, him and my cousins used to chill. Brothers killing brothers, imagine how they mother feel. This life's so real, how y'all fraud and y'all raps. No pain, just cap. I'm about to gain my first plaque, independent and black. My decoration lies in the boom bap. More drums a man Zoom, let them pass tap. Man of the MP, ghost in the machine. Master of the ceremony, leader of this regime. They gon' follow if I lead them right. Through the valley of the shadows, found my own light. Gone. You don't take the picture, you gotta make it. You don't wait for your chance, you gotta take it. Never break the code, this thing's sacred. Get familiar, we just different, it's hit greatness. You don't take the picture, you gotta make it. You don't wait for your chance, you gotta take it. Never break the code, this thing's sacred. Get familiar, we just different, it's hit greatness.
Yeah, we spit greatness on tracks, y'all not similar. Y'all monkey around, throwing shit at us. We throw shells, got goons in the perimeter. Plus shooters on the roof, that's not the fiddler. I'm out here chasing checks, you out here chasing chicks. We have to pay for you after your next relationship. Money over everything since the age of 6. If you shining around here, nigga, I take your shit. ATM sticks, that's my favorite. Empty out your account, that's a major hit. You on your jack, tell the Jakes information quick. Me, fuck cops, I turn piggies to bacon bits. I heard you sold your mans out for a better deal. Me, I take it to the grave, son will never squeal. Say my name, show you how that Beretta feel. Put him in the earth, snitch again, he never will.
You don't take the picture, you gotta make it. You don't wait for your chance, you gotta take it. Never break the code, this thing's sacred. Get familiar, we just different, it's hit greatness. You don't take the picture, you gotta make it. You don't wait for your chance, you gotta take it. Never break the code, this thing's sacred. Get familiar, we just different, it's hit greatness.
Are you familiar to me?
You think I remember?
You think I would too?
You don't take the picture, you gotta make it. You don't wait for your chance, you gotta take it. Never break the code, this thing's sacred. Get familiar, we just different, it's hit greatness. You don't take the picture, you gotta make it. You don't wait for your chance, you gotta take it. Never break the code, this thing's sacred. Get familiar, we just different, it's hit greatness.
Peace, this is Dagger, D-A to the G, live with Infinite Banter from Boston to Chicago and all around the world, man. Turn it up.
All right, you're tuned into the Infinite Banter podcast. I am Mark Jolliffe, a.k.a. DJ Soundwave. And right now I'm joined by two hip-hop artists. They've both been on the show before. My man M-Dog from Rochester. This will be his third time. It's exclusive club, man. And DBTZ of Manzu Beats is his second time, straight from Spain. We got in the building right now talking about their new album, Universal Tongues Volume 2. M-Dog, Diego, and DBTZ. What is up, my dudes?
Yo, salute. Much respect to Infinite Banner Podcast and to you, DJ Soundwave. Thanks for all the support. Definitely.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for inviting us. Thank you very much. I'm really glad for that.
Appreciate it, man. I'll get right to it. We were talking about it before we came on. I got the vinyl in the mail. Man, this album is just sick.
Yeah.
Just
talk about,
yeah, man, talk about just doing this album, because you guys did obviously Volume 1. What's the difference between Volume 1 and Volume 2 for those who heard Volume 1 and have not heard Volume 2? What's some of the similarities and maybe the differences between them?
I think that the first one was born from it was the result of the pure instinct, no, for the first connection. It was the first process that we do together. So it was the first step. And I think we did a great job, but pure instinct, you know what I mean? And now is exactly the natural evolution of the first one. So this one we built together. We talk a lot about it. We build really together. So I think is the natural evolution of the first.
Like he said, basically, it's the first one was more, I would say, like free range. Like we didn't go in there with like a concept. We just went in there creating how we felt, what we was going through. It was the beginning of the pandemic. It was an escape for us. Like he said, that we just set the bar with that one. That was the first masterpiece of the project, Universal Tongues that we did. And then I would say with Universal Tongues too, like especially with my writing and my concepts of how I did the songs. So I try to make it more like an album. Like usually when I make albums, I have a radio single. I go in there, make my radio single. And I go in there and I make like a conscious track, and I go in there, I make a track for the ladies, like set it off. So
there it is.
That's what I try to do this time. You know what I mean?
Man, yeah. And you guys really hit your stride with this one. As good as the first one is, I feel like you guys are going to that next level with this album right here. You guys really stepped your game up to another level on this one. And I can't wait for the third one. I know you guys are working on the third one, right?
Yeah.
Not yet, but we will be.
Yeah. We have to wait some month, but we will do. I hope.
Like we got 3 Kings to hold you over.
We are mastering process now in these days. Try to finishing in a couple of weeks, I hope, and I hope that we can release it in end of June, the first weeks of July, but no more. Yeah. I hope for my birthday, 8th of July.
Perfect.
So maybe,
yeah.
Maybe
that'd be a dope. That'd be a nice release.
The best present to me. So.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah, another project but it's different because that one we built it with another in 3 people with another artist with Crotona, with Crotona P from Bronx. He's a veteran MC from Bronx, a really friend of Doc Diego, and it's another project, different project, but it's really it's heavy. Then I love it as well. So I'm very excited about it. Yeah,
that's a good birthday present right there, man. And you guys sent me a little snippet of something.
Yeah,
is that from that album?
Yeah.
The 3 Kings project.
Jeez,
it will be the first single, Family Tree. But yeah.
For those listening, I heard 10 seconds or something. And if there's like another 29 minutes of that, there you go, man. Whatever. They ain't ready.
We are working well. Yeah, we are working well. I'm really happy about it.
And I got to ask you guys about that Tango and Cash record. And the video, holy shit, dude. That one's incredible. And that's kind of the setup for that 3 Kings, because you've got, featuring Crotona P on there. He's on this song.
Yeah.
Talk about that record.
Crotona P, we've been cool for like several years now. He was on my Money Talks and Conscious Thoughts project. We had a song and I did the video called Hustler's Anecdote. So since then we've been cool. And I already had Tango and Cash written, and I already knew that I wanted him on it. When Universal Tongues 2 came along, like literally, if I go on my phone and go through, because I write my raps on my phone, Tango and Cash will be at the top. You know what I mean? So like I've been sitting on this for some years now, and I always knew I wanted Cortona P on it, and that was just the perfect beat. You know what I mean? He's Puerto Rican, and the beat kind of sound like it got a Spanish guitar, like from the movie Desperado, and that's kind of what inspired me.
Yeah, DBTZ, that beat is crazy. The piano, like that piano too. That's really sinister the way it comes in.
Thank you very much. Yeah, when I heard the track, I heard the verses of Doc Diego and Cortona the first time. I did, we have to do a project together. So it was also thanks to Tango and Cash that Drake thinks we will see the light. So it's all a process. So I'm really happy. Yeah, and I love Tango Cash too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen the movie in a long time. I don't know if you guys are big fans of the movie, but it's been so. Now I want to watch it because after hearing that song and back to back like Tango and Cash, like I want to watch that movie again and see if maybe it's a better movie than I remember.
It's for that reason that I put a snippet now from the movie at the end because it was perfect. It was perfect. So
yeah, it really fits the end of the song and. The video is crazy. I mean, standing outside with all the graffiti in the background. I think there's like a Chucky doll, right, on the wall there. Did I see that correct?
Yeah. The video basically is it's like a water reservoir up here in Rochester, New York. Basically, it has these old water towers that's abandoned, and it has mad graffiti on it. And people be like, it's a walking trail. It's like a kind of like a mountain to get to it. So we had to hike up this trail and. We got to the water towers and it was just mad dope. Like it was my first time there. And I always wanted to shoot a video there.
Yeah, it had that grimy steez to it, which is perfect. Yeah. And M-Doc, I'm wearing an Avengers shirt and you make that Stan Lee line right at the beginning. I'm like, there you go. They're your sons. Yeah. You created these characters. You know what I mean? That was a really cool line.
Appreciate that.
And of course, Children of Corn too. You said that as well. So props to that.
Yeah. Like I said in the last interview, like I'm a big movie fan, like comic book movies as well as horror movies. So I'm always going to do a punchline, with a movie reference for sure.
I think I said Children of Corn, Children of the Corn. I don't want people calling me out. I said it wrong. I'm sorry. Children of the Corn. Like you don't know anything. You don't know shit. Hey, DBTZ, do you like any horror flicks or what kind of movies do you watch?
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah, because really I can find something interesting, in all of the things because I am open to know all because I like a sponge. I'm like to be like a sponge. You know what I mean? So it's when you know everything, you can have more knowledge. So I like everything.
And of course, you had to watch Tango and Cash.
I know what I like to do, so you know what I mean.
Right.
I accept everything, but I know what I want to be or what I want to do. So I am focused. I have to clear what I want, but I am open to see all, to listen all, to know the difference, why the difference exists. So.
Oh, yeah, and another video, too. You guys mentioned that Set It Off song.
Yeah.
M-Doc, it's crazy because I was like, there's girls in this video. This is not like a normal, video that I've seen you in before. It kind of reminded me of like Rakim, Don't Sweat the Technique, when it's like all these girls, but he's still rhyming. He's still got the face, he's not even like acknowledging. So props,
right.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do a video like that. And I know I had to wait on the perfect song. And when I did Set It Off, like I say when I got to the second verse, I'm like, you know what? This is going to be that one. The girls, like, they're from Buffalo, New York, near here in Rochester. And, I just reached out to them and whatnot. And my brother, he last year during the pandemic, he started making clothes. And it's called Familiar Lifestyle. I have a few designs in some of my videos, like Tango and Cash. He did those hoodies. My Hitman video. video. He did the dragon hoodie, the green one. I had him do my the video, set it off. I had him do the girls' outfits, the little short sets. You know, I always try to like they say, keep it in the family, work with your family. So I always try to do that, you know, promote his work and his brand.
Yeah, those hoodies are dope, that Tango and Cash. Are these things that we can buy, those of us that are fans, or?
Yeah, if you just gotta reach out to me or reach out to my brother. Like, he don't be overcharging. Like, some people be charging $100 for a hoodie. Like, he don't do all of that, you know. It's great quality and, you know, at a good price, and we'll ship it to you as well.
And DBTZ, the beat for Set It Off, that one's a little more, you know, like upbeat, a lot more, you know, instrumentation in that one. Talk about that track.
Is rock. This beat is heavy. So when I sent to Diego, I was really curious about what he could do over. And when he sent to me the first test, the first bounce, I said, "Whoa, dang, okay." And it was lucky because also the chorus is really catchy, you know what I mean? So when he start with the chorus, so I like it a lot. What he did, yeah. I love work with Doc. I love work with Doc.
Likewise, bro. Likewise.
Yeah. How did you guys first hook up? I mean, obviously, you know, DBTZ, you're in Spain, and MDoc, you're in Rochester. I know nowadays with technology and even with COVID, everybody works online or emails and stuff like that. But how did you guys first hook up?
Basically, like, I was coming off a Severely Familiar 1 with my brother, and he just dropped a project with Jamal Gasol from Niagara Falls, upstate New York area. I opened up when Jamal Gasol first came here in Rochester, so I'm kind of familiar with him. I've been following him on Instagram and whatnot. You know, Manzu Beats, he just hit me up on Instagram, and he said, you know, liked my music. We just started talking about the pandemic, and then, you know, he asked if he was interested in working, and he sent me, you know, a beat folder, and I went through the beats, and like, the first song I made was Universal Tongues, the title track off the first project.
Love it. Yeah, it's true. It was a Universal Tongue, the first one. It's true.
Yeah,
yeah, I didn't remember it. It's true.
Right.
Yeah, I love it.
And a lot of the beats in that folder became that album, you guys are thinking, or?
Like, usually, like, I'll just pick, like, we only do like 7. Well, I pick like 6 tracks, and then he'll come up with a intro and an interlude or whatnot. For the most part, yeah. Like, I use the beats that he give me. Like, I don't have to, like, oh, make me something better, or, oh, can you fix this? You know what I mean? Like, and even still, like, when I send in a verse and he mix it, he might add some changes to the beat just to make it, you know, like Dr. Dre, he just make it better. You know what I mean? Just put that touch on it.
I totally agree. I was an MC before, so I totally agree. Totally. Never claim it over a beat. Okay. If the beat I don't like it, or I can't rap it over, okay, I can understand. But when a producer sent a beat to me as well, ever killed it. So
right.
Yeah, it's the right attitude of an MC, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I don't like it as well when an artist start to say, I don't know it. Damn, bro. Yeah, start to
right.
to kill it, and we will see. You know what I mean? Start to rapping over, and then we will see. But okay, anyone got his attitude. So
and that helps you as a producer, because you were an MC before, like you said. So you know both sides. It's almost like someone's making a movie, a director and an actor, or an actor who's now a director. Like, you know what works and how to craft it and put it all together and how it should sound. And that's why we're getting these 2 great albums from you guys. You both work in tandem pretty well, and you both know what it's like on each side of the booth as far as a producer and an MC.
Yeah.
Right. Like, because like he said, he'd been an MC, and then, like, my dad, he was a DJ, and I watched him go from DJ to making beats. So it's kind of like the same thing. Like, I have a respect for the producer. I have a respect for the DJ, much more than the average MC. You know what I mean? Because I actually watched the process. I know how hard it is to, you know, mix, and how hard it is to put the beat together. You know what I mean? Even the engineer, like, just to get that perfect sound, like, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of practice.
Yeah, it's a really hard work, because a lot of hours to make a right mix or right mastering. So we dedicate a lot of time to our project. Yeah, we take care of our project, and I think the result is the demonstration of it. So
the results speak for itself.
Without a doubt.
Thank
Heads
you.
listening, definitely go cop that Universal Tongues Volume 2. And, you mentioned your dad, M-Doc, Greg Nice. He does the cuts on the first track, The Reveal Part 2. That's killing it on there.
Appreciate it. I always try to throw Dad on a project or two, just because, like, for one, he's my engineer. So he's right there, and then he be getting inspired. That's why we be making projects together. So, I always try to use, like I always said before, I try to use all my resources. Like my brother, he make clothes. My dad do beats and whatnot.
Yeah, and another track, this might be my favorite song, is the We Just Different song featuring G-Fam Black. You guys want to talk about the beat for that one, DBTZ, and then M-Doc about the verses. But yeah, that song's a banger, no doubt.
Yeah, it's another banger because it's a really powerful beat, the type of the sample, the drums, and he had all together how it moved, no. So and of course, thanks to Doc and G-Fam that have did two great verses, a great show of power over this beat. So. Thanks to them, of course. I can create music, but I need the MC over. So and as well, the MC need the good production. Right. So I appreciate it.
And I say last year after I did French Connection, the same thing with Manzu and Jamal Gasol. Master Conga, he did a project with G-Fam Black. And that's how I started following G-Fam Black and got connected with him. And now, he just sent me something to do a skit over one of his projects he's about to put out. So it's that's the dope part about it, just connecting with all these artists. And I already knew G-Fam Black was going to kill it just because that's his style. He liked them slow, grimy beats. Once I had my verse and hook down, I figured I'd put him on there. I think that was the first feature that we reached out to.
Yeah, it was surprising me. Yeah, I was. G-Fam is a beast over the beat, so it's really surprised to me of it. Yeah,
sounds like you guys might work with him again. That turned out so well.
Manzu Beast got another song with him. It's on Bandcamp with G-Fam Black.
G-Fam, we have did a single with G-Fam and P-Ro. He's a friend of G-Fam. I think he's a really powerful single. And G-Fam appear again in Three Kings with another one track, really, really dope. Is the favorite one of Mario. Mario,
right?
We say that that one is his favorite, but
yeah.
Then he lists another one and say, but also this one is my favorite. So all of them are
right.
But yeah, with G-Fam we work again. I hope to work again with him in the future. Why not? I respect him a lot, so it will be a pleasure to me.
Right.
And for those listening, those who get the album, where they get it on like Bandcamp or they buy the vinyl, the instrumentals for every track is there too, and you get to really hear the intricacy of the beats, DBTZ, like how you put them together. Just hearing the instrumentals, as well as obviously the finished song with M-Doc on them. Talk about including the instrumentals on the album, how important that was to have both of them, the songs as well as the instrumental.
Yes, it's something that I like to do because we create EP, no? So I like to create the both side, the side one with all the project and the side B with just the instrumental, so people can appreciate also that type of work. And I think that, for example, for a vinyl is the good combination, no? Because in the 90s when you buy a single in the side A, you have the track, and the side B you have the instrumental. It's something like that inspired me. So I like it when I do an EP, a project. I like to give this form, this I don't know. Sorry for the word.
Like format or the form of having
yeah,
it.
Yeah. I like it. And thanks to Coca-Riff that did a great job because they prepared this version the vinyl, Coca Riff. You can find the vinyl on www.cocariff.com. And we have also merch of Champion. So we have T-shirt, hoodies, and they do a great job. Yeah, as well. I like it what they did.
Right. Just make sure y'all support the project, definitely. Vinyl, t-shirts, hoodies, and it's all on cocareef.com.
Yeah, don't sleep. And I'm holding the album in my hand. I got to ask you guys about this cover. This is crazy.
Thank you.
How much did you guys do? I mean, was it you two together? Did you have someone else kind of come up with? How did you come up with the concept of the art, the illustration?
Thank you. I did the graphic. I like to do also the graphic for my project when it's possible. Of course, when I do something that I propose something to the artist, if the artist like it, okay, we can use it, and of course to me it's an honor because I like it. I like to be a curator. You know what I mean? Of all of the sound of the graphics, to give to the artist, the MC, all the instrument, all the things that he need to feel better on the project, to let to the MC just the creation part of the bars, of the lyrics. That is something that I love it because I was MC. So, and I'm trying to give all the ingredients. You know what I mean? So it's something that I like to do. I like to work hard. I like to work.
And I feel like the cover definitely, like, you know, it's a good introduction to what you about to get. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely some hardcore, you know, raw hip hop, like some beastly sounding hip hop, definitely.
With the Gucci hat. That's the best part.
Right, with the Gucci hat. Right.
He's a killer gorilla, so
it's a beast with style. I mean, it's not just a beast. I mean, he got his hat on right. He knew what he was going to wear before he started eating on that heart or whatever. He knew what was going on.
Right.
Man, that's awesome. You guys have had a lot of projects in the last year. I mean, MDoc, you've had, the album French Connection. Talk about the projects you guys have worked on in the last year, and people who are also going to get Universal Tongues, they could find out about your other projects as well.
Like I said before, Severely Familiar 1, that was kind of like what led up to all of this. Like, we got Severely Familiar 2, that was beginning of this year with my brother Severe, and then my dad Greg Nice. We got Incognegros, and I got Zach Neef Nori on there. We also got Zach Neef Nori on Three Kings. Yeah. And Master Conga from France. We got the French Connection 1, and I'm about to drop part 2, I think June 12th. And I got a video. Now I got some features from Barbaric and Alvarez Masterminded. Like they big up here in Rochester. They got featured on DJ Premier radio station and a lot of blogs that I'm featured on. And then my homeboy Street the Villain from Syracuse, as well as a French MC, Logic Constantine from France. So that's like, I try to make it like the French Connection, like a France thing. And then like we got Three Kings with Katona P that's about to drop with Manzu on the production, and I think that's gonna raise the bar right there for sure.
Yeah, Three Kings, yeah, more another step more. So
right,
you have to work in the right way. Doc worked a lot last year. We worked a lot as well because we released 5 projects in all. The first one was with Jamal Gasol, then with Doc, another one, Golden Bars with YNX 716. Then I released an instrumental project, really hard instrumental project because it was a trip that I tried to enter. And all the sample from the same movie, the same trilogy, all the drum, all the sample, all this was from the trilogy. Is really hard, but it's something that I'm on the project, so I'm happy to have complete. And then we released the Lost Gems with DJ Flipside, with a lot of guests inside, a lot of Wu-Tang Killa Bees, a special guest like Cool G Rap. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm happy about what we did. The really first year of release that I release worldwide, you know what I mean? So I'm happy. And this year, the first project, it was with Doc, with Doc, and then we have another ones on the way with other artists, but they are in the making. So I prefer to talk about Universal Tongues 2, that is pure fire. And on the next one, that Three Kings also with Doc as well.
Man, I cannot wait for that Three Kings. Like I said, that little tiny bit you sent, man. Woo. It's like, I don't know if I'm ready for it, you know. But this Universal Tongues, in the meantime, Volume 2 is just like, you know, enough for me to get through until that one's ready. Then I'll be more hungry again, and you could feed that beast with some more hip hop for sure.
You will see the cover as well. Also, the cover, it will be really nice.
I bet. Oh, yeah, I can even imagine the cover. Fit anything like this one, you know you guys are going to kill it with the illustration.
Yeah. And that's going to be on Coca Reef as well.
Yeah. I buy the T-shirt, so I'm waiting for the T-shirt as well. So.
And all the other projects you guys have, they're all on Bandcamp, right? I mean, most people can find them on streaming platforms and things like that. Of course, we want you to buy the vinyl and everything, the CDs, but...
Yeah, you can stream it. Most of our projects you can stream, and it's always on Bandcamp. Like Manzu projects, all his projects is on Bandcamp. Manzu Beats
on Bandcamp, on iTunes, on Spotify, on everywhere on all digital platform, and physical copy on Bandcamp or on Coca Reef site as well.
And I got to give a shout out to my guy DJ Real One. Yo, you and M-Doc, man, Real One, M-Doc, you guys killed it on a couple of tracks on his Direct Flight album, Shy Rock and 30.
Shout out to DJ Real One that supported as well Universal Tongues 2. Shout out to
DJ.
Salute.
Yeah.
Well, you plugged us in, but after you plugged us in,
it was off.
He sent me
he set it off right there.
Right. I think he sent me like 5 beats. He told me only to pick one, but I liked 2 of them. And the second one, I just gave the verse. I told him if he wanted to, he could put another artist on there because it's just Shy Rock. It was just like a verse, but he just said he just liked it how it was, so he just kept it like that. And then 30, that was my favorite one. Like, it didn't take no long to write to that, you know what I mean? It's definitely taken off. Got a lot of support, you know, from Cut Supreme and, you know, everywhere, you know what I mean? In France, you know what I mean? We're getting a lot of radio play. So it's definitely a good look.
Yeah, internationally known, you guys. This is great. You know, the worldwide recognition, you know, obviously DBTZ in Spain and Italy, and then you're talking about France, you know, Rochester, Chicago. He lives in Houston now, but he's up here visiting. So it's just cool to see, like, people working from different parts of the world and just making some great music, man. You don't have to be in a studio together. Damn the pandemic. You just make it.
Right. Yeah. That's the best thing about hip hop. Like that's why we called it Universal Tongues. Like that was it brings all barriers, all cultures, no matter race, religion, you know, whatever. Like it's about hip hop. You know what I mean? Hip hop is the culture. You know what I mean? And it's bringing people together like a religion. You know what I mean? And the religion is this, you know, being true to hip hop. You know, the 4 elements. And now it's like more elements. You know, RZA tried to say he said gaming is an element to hip hop now. So, you know, fashion is another element to hip hop. So, you know, it's just about representing, you know what I mean, the culture.
Yeah, the element connect the people, and then the respect make more strong the culture. So it's something that is a mix of right thing, but the element connect the people with the right attitude. And then when you know what is hip hop, you have just to spread, you know what I mean? So
right, put out great music and support the culture.
Yeah. Speaking of the culture, I know M-Doc, the first time I had you on, you know, talked about how much DMX was an influence to you, and DBTZ. You could talk about this too. We lost some real like icons, legends in the game. You know, you guys have any memories or thoughts on, you know, guys like DMX or Shock G, MF Doom? There's been so many losses. It's it's just hard to like,
I know.
Man, it's just crazy.
I used to hear a lot of stories about DMX because he lived here in Rochester. Like he used to work at it's a Midtown Mall or something. I heard he used to have a job there. You know, he always had like that impact, you know, especially on upstate New York, you know, that whole Rough Rider era. And especially with me just growing up, you know, I listened to DMX since his first album. You know, my mom was a fan of DMX. So, you know, it's just sad, you know, losing, you know, some of the legends that we grew up listening to. But, you know, that's just life, you know. We're all going to, you know, leave here one day. So, you know, we got to leave an impact. You know, we all could be so lucky to leave an impact that DMX left. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to pay respect. Yeah, you have to pay respect to
Right.
DMX is DMX, so he's like a god. You know what I mean? So
right,
he's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just been so rough, you know, because it seemed like every week we're losing somebody, and you know, for a lot of us, that's why we got into hip hop, for guys like this.
In last two years, it was a lot of lost. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's like some DJs up here like that was big in the upstate New York scene. There's passed away. You know, Fred the Godson, he passed away. You know,
yes,
it hit a lot of people around the world. You know, big like major celebrities and regular, you know, average citizens. You know, it affected everybody.
Yeah, no doubt. It's been a rough couple of years for sure, but I'm hoping that all of us are on the other side of this now, and we can start to focus on just living life and not to think about a lot of the, you know, the things that have happened before. We just learn and grow from it. And you guys, man, this album, I'm telling you, everybody listen, this is just a classic banger, and we're only like in the middle of the year. It's one of the best albums of 2021, without a doubt. Universal Tongues Volume 2. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No doubt. Hit them over the head one more time where they can get merch, the albums, everything. Let these people listen. They need to know. We need to bother them like 100 times. How do you get this record, man?
Coca Reef Records, you know, CocaReefRecords.com, and make sure, you know, you support us, man. Buy a T-shirt, buy a CD, buy the album. Go to Manzu Beats band page, buy some beats, you know, buy some projects. You know what I mean? Yeah. Support, you know, dope hip hop. You know, that's what needs to be important
to continue to make music. So we appreciate you.
Right.
Yeah, and we appreciate you guys bringing us this great music. And I'm already looking forward to the next thing. Three Kings. You guys don't let me fall off, man. Keep hitting me with that stuff because I can't wait to hear the next one.
You already know.
Yeah.
You already part of the email contact.
You already know. Definitely, man. Man, salute to both you guys. Two real ones in the building right here. Yeah.
Salute. Thank you very much.
No, I appreciate it to both of you guys.
Songs too.
Oh, no doubt. DBTZ, man, your background is awesome. You got all this. I just have a chandelier. I don't have anything cool.
I have on the wall. Yeah, on the wall. I put.
He got part one around there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and over the other one. Yeah. I mean, so I have all my project on the wall. So
that's dope. That is dope.
If I move my phone, you'll see a bunch of baby toys behind me.
I want to fill the room. of the project. So I have a lot to do.
Yeah, we got more work to do.
Man, I cannot wait to hear the next stuff. But in the meantime, we got plenty of stuff to hear already. Universal Tongues Volume 1, Universal Tongues Volume 2, and all the other projects you guys are working on. Salute to both you guys. Thanks so much for coming on the Infinite Banter podcast. And yo, M-Doc, you're exclusive company, man. You're on the third time. So DBTZ, you got to get on another time without M-Doc so you can get your third time. So it's exclusive.
Right. Yeah. Thank you very
appreciate
much.
Appreciate you, man. Salute.
Yeah, salute to both of you guys, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it.
Salute to those guys, DBTZ and M-Doc Diego. Mad fun talking to those guys. I mean, I've been communicating with them now for going on a year, and it's just really cool to see everything they're working on. And, you know, when they let me know that something's coming out, I just really get geeked about it. And the next project they're doing, Three Kings, it sounds like it's going to be great. But in the meantime, we got this Universal Tongues Volume 2 to hold us over until that new one drops. So definitely go cop that album on CocoReef.com and follow them on social media. and find their music on streaming platforms everywhere. Like I said, Bandcamp is my favorite spot. So yeah, salute to M-Doc 3 times on the show. Him, Real One, and my guy Jason Griff are the only ones who have done that. So it's a select company. We'll see who might get on here a second or a third time. See if anybody can pick up the pace. Maybe a fourth time. Who knows? We're going to play another song from that album, Universal Tongues Volume 2. This right here might be one of my favorite songs of the year so far. This is really just an awesome record. Tango and Cash featuring Cortona P. There's a video for it and everything. And I haven't seen Tango and Cash since whatever year it came out. What was it, like 89, 90, something like that? I'd have to look it up. It's Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell, and one of them like buddy cop action flicks, whatever. I mean, there's the cookie cutter movies of the late 80s, early 90s. They did those all the time. They still do to a point, but I don't remember liking it a lot, so I got to go back and revisit it. Maybe I'll watch it and give like a slight review of it or something. But yeah, the song, the title, the way they worked it into the hook is awesome. So here we go. Tango and Cash from M. Diego and DBTZ Manzu Beats off the new album Universal Tongues Volume 2. Here we go.
Get familiar. M. Diego. I see you. These rappers my sons, I created all these characters, I'm Stan Lee. Keep off the grass, you know it's greener than it ever can be. Ladies be a lord in that Ralph Lauren. Got up out of her feelings, out of her zone. She say I'm outgoing, I'm about both ends, from rough ends and low income. Get low when it's time for get back, I get some and then some. Ladies think I'm cute, but this the opposite of handsome. Please don't butt in, boy I'm more ransom. Unregistered, don't know where these hands from. Lee, your man's done a nice one, kid. This is Francis' grandson. Taught me how to count, all she did was ran numbers. Seeds of the summer, kids of the night. Walk with the sword, shit from the block. Children of the corn, here to wreak havoc, going hard. Since the 80s I was born. Back to back like Tango and Cash. This pimp out the capsule, came out the glass. Back like we never left, shame I won't last. Go hard to the death, let my story tell my past. Back to back like Tango and Cash. This pimp out the capsule, came out the glass. Back like we never left, shame I won't last. Go hard to the death, let my story tell my past.
Class of 96, I graduated from Smith to Myth. Never thought about a paper unless used for rolling piff. Or dropping on stolen grips, was holding a flip. Put it all towards the work, I ain't knowing them ish. Just don't waste the re-up, I'm revisiting quick. New to this shit, sick. The company you keep and make you quit before you reach your break. So I slept, clean house and went back to the next. City slick, the spick that ain't gotta say much to live for your chick. She got my good gap, picked up her trick ass. Showed up in a sick cab, lift her skirt, gave a quick stab that felt like stiff jabs. Off the dish tabs, so from the get grabbed. This letter scab, her butt I grabbed and passed the cash. Raised Tango, never ate a mango or the ass. Saw the crash, we the order, P and Diego got class. On these stripes, the man respect top brass.
Back to back like Tango and Cash. This pimp out the capsule, came out the glass. Back like we never left, shame I won't last. Go hard to the death, let my story tell my past. Back to back like Tango and Cash. This pimp out the capsule, came out the glass. Back like we never left, shame I won't last. Go hard to the death, let my story tell my past. Back to back like Tango and Cash. This pimp out the capsule, came out the glass. Back like we never left, shame I won't last. Go hard to the death, let my story tell my past. Back to back like Tango and Cash. This pimp out the capsule, came out the glass. Back like we never left, shame I won't last. Go hard to the death, let my story tell my past.
Captain Dynaball here? Yeah! I love John Conan the Barbarian! Me and my ass will be in the neighborhood. You fucking pig! It's all up for you! I think you're gonna be very popular. Funny, I don't see your fan club either.
Yo, this is DJ Real One, and you're checking out Infinite Banter with my man, Mark Jolliffe, a.k.a. DJ Soundwave. Always repping that underground hip hop, that Walking Dead, and most importantly, that AJ Styles.
What up, Big Bruh? Listen to the Big Bruh podcast.
What's good, people? This your boy Big Bruh. I'm the host of Live with Big Bruh, a podcast where I keep it raw, uncut, uncensored, and unfiltered. Always keeping it 100 and giving you guys my opinion on topics that you need to go check out. Live with Big Bruh is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, or wherever else you like to listen to your favorite podcast. Make sure you go subscribe, rate, and share it. And while you're at it, tell your friends to tell their friends to do the same thing. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at Live with Big Bruh. And remember, they can hold you, but they can't stop you. Big Bruh out.
Yeah, it's Chubbs. You're now listening to Infinite Banter, you motherfucker.
Time for you to leave, assholes.
All right, that is Kirk Acevedo telling me to get out of here. That is exactly what I'm going to do. But as always, before I go, Kirk, got a couple things real quick. I teased it, I think, a couple episodes back that I was going to get around to listening to this Randy Macho Man Savage album from, like, I don't know, 20 years ago, something like that. I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to go through the torture that I know it's going to be. And on the next episode, I will talk about it. Depending on how much it does for me as a listener, that'll determine how much I actually talk about it. It might be a minute, might be a couple minutes, might be 10 seconds. I don't know, because I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to stomach, but I'm going to put myself through it. I'm going to do it because I'm a masochist. So stay tuned for that on the next episode. But good music is here. We got my guys, M. Doc Diego and DBTZ. You heard a couple songs on their new album, Universal Tongues Volume 2. Thanks to them for coming on the show. I'm sure they will be back again. Look for all the new projects. Three Kings is coming out. French Connection 2, previous projects like Universal Tongues, the first one, Severely Familiar. You know, they've got just too much stuff to talk about, but it's all good, and make sure you follow those guys on social media so you can see what they're up to. Like I said, M-Doc's got a couple tracks with DJ Real One on his new album, Direct Flight, so definitely don't sleep. Watch out for Manzu Beats and M. Doc Diego. They are bringing that heat right there for you. And we're going to play a song before we get out of here from the first Universal Tongues. This song is actually called Universal Tongues. And I want you guys to get acclimated with that album, because if you like Volume 2, you should go back and check out Volume 1, or maybe you've heard Volume 1 and haven't heard Volume 2, or maybe you're completely oblivious to both. You've got two albums to get caught up on. So I'm definitely going to help you guys get acclimated with both albums here. As always, you can follow the show on social media at Infinite Banter Podcast, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Go on YouTube. Type in Infinite Banter, look up past guests with clips and such from past shows that we've done on here. Listen to the show on all digital platforms. Usual places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Good Pods, places like that. And definitely rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts and Podchaser. If you do that, I will give you a verbal salute. Salute. Thank you. Thank you in advance. All right, that's it. I'm out of here. Let's go ahead and play one last track. This is from the last Universal Tongues. This song is called Universal Tongues. Manzu Beats, DBTZ, and M. Doc Diego. Again, thanks again for both of them for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And I look forward to having them on again, because I know they got more stuff coming. They probably just released an album before I finish recording this. There's probably another album out right now. So definitely go check them out. Make sure you listen to their music. And here we go, where I'm out of here. Until I do another one of these, I'm out.
Hey, asshole, get off the road.
Almost 12 in New York, it's like 4 in Spain. Fresh from Manzu Beats, this for the pain. Said something in the air, got the world insane. Isolation, quarantine. Is it the end of times? If so, prepare for a war scene. We just hip-hop news, live on the scene. Live wire in a scheme, trying to feed my seeds, water my earth, spoil my whiz before the world take me. I'ma give it all I can give. Questions for the hustlers, how you gon' ball when it's martial law on the strip? Malcolm by the window, I'm Shalal with a clip. Don't slip, don't slip, hold your own, hold it. I roll alone, roll a stone, better know the unknowns. No self like no one else. Storms coming, we bout to test these waters. Hope you hold yourself up like a belt. Know where you at, know where you coming from. My children's homeschooled now, but I'm a teacher's son. Lineage of struggle and success. Doctors of hustlers is giving you all the greater expectations. No savior, we ain't coming, but we ain't waiting. Smiling while they set the world on fire. That's the CIA, the biggest threat of black messiah. That's why they kill our leaders, give us the pacifiers. Stole our hidden gems, only lies for us is breaking atoms. If we created in his image, ain't we perfect? I ask them, is we coming, is we going? Word to the wise, they ain't knowing. Came from nothing, po' boys getting money, we grown men. This the omen, ain't afraid to show men. Get your affairs in order, pay with your old man. Oh man, about to get dark. Get familiar with this man through M.Diego and Mansoor. Know my beats harder than bamboo. I'm charging the sample, tired of marching, we amp too. My camp need is just two, we just two. Wallaby, Cool G on a Crush Groove. A collaboration from two MCs. He went the producer route, y'all know I'ma do me. Treat the mic like a loose leaf. Exhale and now I'm sending warm winters. More agendas, a new world, you're just in it. Gone.
Being on the Infinite Banter with my man Mark has been a pleasure.